Terence Crawford finally reveals why he doesn't like Jermel Charlo. A lot of people are wondering why, after Errol Spence, you already beat Errol Spence. What's the point in even fighting anymore, you know? He was on the Porter Way podcast recently. I encourage you guys to go check that out. It was a great episode. They had him on, asked him a few questions post-fight about his, his mindset, everything that was going into his thought process, dealing with the doubters. Everyone was saying how he was going to lose and how he didn't let that affect him. So it's definitely a good watch. I encourage you guys to go check that out. But he was talking about how the reason why he doesn't like Jermel Charlo is because he thinks he's fake. He compared Jermel Charlo to Errol Spence and said that Errol Spence, yeah, I wanted to fight him, but mainly because, he's that guy. At the time, he was the one that they were saying Terence Crawford's name with. It was Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. And he said that Errol was a real guy. He was 10 toes down, very respectable, and, he's the type of guy who was easy to have respect for because he's a real one. Like, he's not going to be fake. On the other hand, Terence Crawford saying that Jermel Charlo is fake. They had moments where he was being cool with Bud, and then as soon as Bud entered, moved up from 140 to 47, kind of getting closer to Jermel. Terence Crawford saying that he noticed that Jermel started changing his energy and saying that, you're going to get knocked out, this, that, and the third. So Terence Crawford didn't take that lightly and said, that's disrespectful, that's fake. That's not a genuine person right there, and that's why he wants to fight Jermel. We know that Terence Crawford could easily retire right now after beating a guy like Errol Spence. Obviously the rematch clause is expected to be activated and in effect, but he could still retire, you know what I mean? Even if he took the Errol Spence rematch, after that there's no point in going up to 54 unless, obviously he wants to be that 3 weight division world, undisputed world champion. But what was the point? And he finally, revealed that he doesn't like Jermel, personally, because they had moments where he was being friendly to Terence Crawford, and then all of a sudden, as Terence Crawford gets closer to his weight class at 54, and as he entered 47 and stopped every guy in the ring with him, he started, changing. He started changing his energy and acting different, and it's because I think that Terence Crawford's insinuating that he felt threatened that Jermel Charlo was moving up, so he's saying that, we can't be friends anymore because, he's a threat now. So that's kind of what Terence Crawford's trying to say. But I understand, obviously, because boxing's it's a toxic sport when it can be. Every opportunity people take to, challenge each other, call each other out. People want smoke. People are friends until they can't be in the ring, So I understand both sides. Talking trash is a part of the sport of boxing, and I think that Terence Crawford probably beats Jermel, comfortably, because I think that Errol Spence is a better fighter than Jermel, but the chance is never zero. I think it's probably 80-20 in favor of Terence Crawford for me personally, but that's not to take away from Jermel. That's just testament to how good and how great Terence Crawford is. He's just too dynamic. I think that Jermel's a little bit, as good as he is and as much as his footwork has improved, I think that Terence Crawford's just on another level. Being able to switch stances, he has such a deep arsenal. I think would be end up being too much for Jermel. I think he would probably stop him too, because Earl was a big challenge, but he personally doesn't like, Terence Crawford personally doesn't like Jermel, so is that going to motivate him to put an even, bigger beating on Jermel than he did to Errol Spence? And if that, man, do we even want to see that? That might get real ugly. But not to take away from Jermel, he's one of my favorite fighters as well, and I'm a fan of his. But in this personal, matchup, personally, I pick Terence Crawford to just pick him apart and, eventually get a late stoppage potentially, maybe an early one. But it's all up to Terence Crawford what he chooses to do. So I think it's a great fight, but Terence doesn't need it, but he's very intense on it because of the personal beef that they have, and I'll tune in for sure. That lead up would be crazy, and I think the fight would be exciting as long as it lasts. That's what I'll say. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Terence Crawford versus Jermel Charlo. Assuming that Jermel, you know, pulls off a crazy win over Canelo, even though I also favor Canelo in that matchup as well. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. But thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Have a good one.
That's going to do it for another NASFIGHT Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.